Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello to all SBR students who are going to attempt June 2023 exams. Students, SBR students, 8th June 2023, Thursday. May Allah, God willing, the day will be yours. Not to worry. Remaining 3 weeks. Now I've started the series of sessions and also the documentary supports to you people to support for June 23 exams. The prime objective of these series of sessions and the support, it's provide you the right direction, right guidance, and develop your right mindset towards the exam, towards the success of the SBR exam. All ACCA exams, including SBR, requires the hard efforts as well as the smart efforts as well to meet the examiner expectations. So these series of videos and the supports of the documents will provide you the guidance. So do touch with us through the WhatsApp group. You can find the WhatsApp group. No worries about that after this video. And you can find the WhatsApp group link mentioned below that particular YouTube video. No worries about that. So do part of WhatsApp group, and if possible also subscribe the YouTube channel. So SBR Talk June 23 exam support. Let's start. Number one, the very important thing, what the key points, what the specific target point that should be in your mind, what the specific target points that should be in your mind for remaining 3 weeks. Number one, the first thing, exam date 8th June 23, remaining time 3 weeks you have, and don't be nervous, relax. Whatever you have done, okay. Now, the remaining 3 weeks, what you should do, here the guidance will provide to you. Not to worry. Number three, the target point is that there are 5 syllabus contents available. What are the contents? Later on in this part of the video as well. So exam date, remaining time, syllabus contents. Number 4, you have total 13 exam practice questions and you have to attempt these questions, whatever the technique I will suggest to you, or your mentors already suggested to you. 11 plus 2, that's 13, means 11 past exam papers and 2 specimen exam questions for June 23 exams. These practice questions for 3 weeks, focus on these 13 past exam questions. The details of the exam questions will be available later on with these series of videos. June 23 mock exam as published by the ACCA. Congratulations. And I will also provide the debriefing about this June 23 ACCA published mock exams. By the way, if you required any individual feedback about the ACCA mock exam, there are some conditions. You can get this particular assigned marks, but the condition is that you have to be very interactive with the WhatsApp group. Whatever the support I will provide, whatever the questions, whatever the voting pools I will establish on the WhatsApp group, you have to interact with me. Once the students will interact with me on a regular basis, that a student will highlight and I will provide a gift in the form of marking, exactly exam support marking for the mock exam. That will be the gift. Okay, so that's the target points. That's for next 3 weeks. That should be in your mind. They are the 5 points. Exam date, remaining time, 5 syllabus contents you have to cover, 30, 11 plus 2 practice questions, CB format, June 23 ACCA mock publish. That means 11 plus 2 plus 1 mock exam. So, why you people are watching this video? Why you part of that WhatsApp group? Just for the sake of SBR success. So, the focus point, you have to develop your mind or make a screenshot, take out a print and paste in front of the study place that two things important for the SBR success. Two things important for the SBR success. Number one, syllabus coverage. Number two, exam techniques. Both are important. If you cover the exam, if you cover the syllabus coverage, but you haven't practiced with the exam techniques, not able to qualify the exam. And same way, if someone says that only the exam technique I know, but I don't have good enough knowledge of the syllabus, no way to qualify the exam. Good enough knowledge of the syllabus coverage or the syllabus areas. It's not about master of all areas. Good enough knowledge of syllabus areas plus exam techniques. Implement exam techniques, all the past exam questions as refer above, or I will also discuss later the content of the questions. You will be able to qualify. Hard work with the syllabus coverage and smart work, that's called exam technique. That's two things required to get the exam success of the SBR or any of the ACC exam. That's a key point. Sir, do tell us know what inside your SBR talk. What inside? Okay. There are some points. Number one, the first very important and the soft element is that for the exam aspects, ask yourself, whatever you are preparing and your revision technique right now, is this equal to the examiner expectation? Whatever your path or your direction right now, is this equal to the examiner expectations? So your preparation and revision must be balanced with the examiner expectations. So what's the examiner expectations? We will provide you the guidance. I will provide you the guidance with the videos. Number one, SBR talk includes, number one, bridging the expectation gap. Means, first of all, you have to aware what the expectation of the examiner. Number two, you have to prepare, revise, putting your smart and hard techniques according to the examiner expectation. So that means we will provide you support how bridging the gap of examiner expectation. There should be no gap between the preparation of the student and examiner expectation. So first thing, we will cover the point over the series of guidance. Number one. Number two, through these videos, documents, we provide you smart exam techniques with the selected questions. What the smart exam techniques, and these exam techniques you have to implement with your own practice questions. Number three, I will provide the June 23 mock debriefing videos very comprehensively and selected mocks to the students who are very much interactive with the WhatsApp group. Quick summaries, yes, I will provide for the selected syllabus areas, quick summaries for some accounting standard and other areas as well. For quick summaries, SBR talk, I required a very interactive WhatsApp group of students, very interactive group of the WhatsApp, where I regular provide some type of question, sometimes questions, sometimes pooling, sometimes suggested answers. So you have to interact with me accordingly. That's important. And finally, I will also provide you SBR practice question grid as well. Sequence of the question, or you can say that platinum questions that you have to perform. Platinum question doesn't mean that that's something about the gas. No, these platinum question is actually about you have to practice with the priority of these questions or the sequence of this question. And the rest of the questions are also important, but you have to cover very importantly with these grid of questions. Sir, okay, these are the objective of the outcomes we will get or inside the SBR talk. But how these sessions will execute Number one, we will provide regularly the recorded videos. We will provide you the exam support documents required, student interaction required. Join the WhatsApp group, subscribe my YouTube channel. You can find out my YouTube channel. That's important. Furthermore, very important thing. This is what about the SBR Talk June 23 roadmap that I will establish, and time by time I will add on the documents and add on the sequence of the topics accordingly. For example, the first session we are going here. So after the session, link will be available. So that is called the SBR Talk initial session, and this session more about bridging the expectation gap. Number two, the second point, SBR drafting technique. So this required the video. You have to click the video and then you can find from the YouTube. Then SBR right approach. Then as IS-37 small case 1, IS-37 small case 2, and this document will update it time by time on a regular basis. So this document will be available on the WhatsApp group on a regular basis and update accordingly. So one document, it's about the link of videos, and same the document links also mention to find out some relevant documents from the relevant folders as well. So you have to join the WhatsApp group. You will be able to get all the things accordingly. So this is how the things execute. Now, the very important point, the first agenda is it's about bridging the expectation gap. Bridging the expectation gap. Bridging the expectation gap. So before moving towards the revision content of the SBR or moving towards more preparation, first of all, you need to cover this point. What does that mean? The very important thing, the term bridging the expectation gap means, the theme is that, the very important thing, the success of exam equation required, your exam preparation must be equal to examiner expectation. Your exam success equation based on your preparation must aligned with examiner expectations. Must align with examiner expectations. So you have to find out your direction right now. If your direction according to the examiner expectation, that's good. But sir, what you say that, what is the meaning of the examiner expectation? Okay, now about bridging the expectation gap, and we need to find out what the examiner expectation, we need to cover some contents. Number one, first of all, we have to discuss the thing, your study must be with a balanced approach. Balanced approach means there are 5 areas of the syllabus and you need to cover all 5 areas according to the weightage. The details about the balanced approach just after the sequence, just after a couple of minutes. Number 2, you have, I must say, you just don't need to practice the question, also need to practice the question and identify or evaluate the psychology of the SBR examiner. How to catch the psychology of the SBR examiner, we provide the guidance. Number 3, you have to very much focus that what inside the syllabus. Number 4, also the insights of the SBR exam. Number 5, what is the right way of the SBR exam practice techniques? And number 6, if you are practicing the question, of course you are facing some challenges. So whatever the challenges you have, I have sorted out in a document, and I will reply the solution to you based on some frequently asked questions by my students. So actually, by answering these 6 questions, we will be able to bridge the gap between the examiner expectation and your preparation. So now, one by one, the first point is about balance approach. Initially with the session. Number 1, what the balance approach, sir? What is the balance approach? You know that, first of all, very frequently, you need to recall what are the 5 core areas of syllabus. What are the core areas of the syllabus? There are 5 core areas of syllabus. Sir, what are these areas of the syllabus? Must have to bear in mind. Yes, the session is already recorded. The recording is going on, and that will be available after the webinar. Okay, so you have to bear one thing. You have to bear the thing in your mind that there are 5 components of the area syllabus. Number 1, IFRS. But the student think that only IFRS. No, the paper name is not Advanced IFRS. The paper name is Strategic Business Reporting. And Strategic Business Reporting includes the major area, that's IFRS. But the IFRS is not the only part of the syllabus. So rest of the days, you need to cover not only IFRS, but 4 more things. You have a good command with the application of conceptual framework. Good command related to SBR ethical implications. Good command related to performance measurement. Here the performance measurement about investor perspective and discussion about current developments. Sir, what are the weightage of these areas? If we have, for example, 28 or 27 days or 30 days, for example, if we have 4.5 weeks. So I strongly suggest whatever you are investing your time and practicing the question, you have to invest your time with these diagnoses that I have made. Overall, approximately, the paper consists of 60% IFRS based on past paper analysis, 10% conceptual framework, 7% ethical implications. Overall, 8% current development aspects, 15% performance measurement. This is approx. So you have to ask yourself very frequently after 2 to 3 days, am I preparing, am I approaching my SBR exam based on these allocation? For example, if you invested 20 or 30 hours of your studies, have you really invested with this proportion? If yes, that's good. If no, you have to highlight the point which area of the syllabus you haven't covered. So you have to focus that area as well. By the way, if I ask to you who are taking the live session as well, who are taking the live session here, are you really approaching the SBR exam with this proportion? Whatever you have done till now, have you invested the time in this manner? Okay. By the way, even you people are watching the video through my YouTube channel, you can ask the question through the WhatsApp group. You can ask me through the WhatsApp group. So I'm asking to my students who are taking the live sessions, have you really invested your time till now with this proportionate? Yes or no? So you have actually the purpose of this, the agenda of this particular session, the prime objective, bridging the gap. If you are not working in the right track, my support here to develop the right track towards the success. So that is what the examiner expectation. So from now, you have to prepare the things accordingly. That's important. If you haven't done till now, you have enough time to develop your studies with the right track, and this is the right track. Further, I will discuss the points accordingly. Further, number 2, examiner mindset. Examiner mindset with examiner wordings. Whatever the wordings, whatever the statement I will discuss or I will show to the through the slides, these are not my wordings. Actually, examiner mindset or examiner psychology must be read through the examiner statement, through the examiner statement. Okay, so what we were discussing, I was saying that examiner mindset must be read or must be extracted through the examiner statements. So these are the examiner statements. Number 1, examining team, number 1 statement that this exam, it's not only the financial reporting, but the strategic business reporting. So what does that mean? It means, for example, you studied a subject called PM, performance management. The advanced paper of the PM called APM. You studied a subject FM. The advanced subject name in ACCA AFM. You studied a subject called TX. The advanced name ATX. You studied a subject of AA, audit assurance. The advanced name of AAA, advanced AA. But here you studied the subject FR, F7 FR. But the advanced subject name is not AFR. There should be some reason. So examining team says that this exam is not only FR. Instead, yes, it includes advanced FR, but all 4 things add on. 4 more things. Advanced accounting standard, yes, number 1. Ethics, number 2. Current development, number 3. Performance measurement, number 4. That means investor perspective, and conceptual framework, number 5. That's the point we have discussed. So first, develop your mindset. Whatever you are approaching, whatever you are discussing, whatever we are working here, it's not only the preparation or revision, not only FR, but simultaneously we have to cover more than FR. Number 1. Number 2, examiner statement. Working is important, I must say. Yes, working. For example, goodwill working. Number 1. For example, leasing working. For example, IS 19 working. But examiner says that our expectation from the students is not only about the working, but also about the explaining of working. also about explaining your working. You must be able to explain your working, whatever you are doing. For example, if you are good enough for the working of goodwill, ask yourself, am I good? Am I good, average, excellent for goodwill working, and also writing about how to calculate goodwill? Am I good enough for any accounting standard like IFRS 15, 16, whatever, but also about the explanation of the working? This is the second point. So your right approach, number one, it's not about IFR. Number two, preparation is not only about calculation, but also the description. Number three, okay, something more elaborate. I wanted to elaborate this statement more. For example, you are an accountant of British Airways, and British Airways is a company. You are an accountant, and this is what the financial statement, income statement, balance sheet, all these things. Income statement, balance sheet. If you are assume that you are a student of F7 or FR, so what examiner expecting from your side? Examiner just expecting that you having a good command for any accounting standard related to this calculation. Leasing, how lease matter affect to the income statement, balance sheet, for example. But here in SBR, examiner expecting that you are an accountant and you must be able, for example, there are some transaction. For example, British Airways renovate all the interior of aircraft. For example, this transaction. With F7, examiner expecting how this renovation reflect to the financial statement, but here examiner expecting in SBR, focus this picture, that you have to demonstrate your ability in front of audience. Demonstrate your ability, explain. You have to explain your answer. And of course, with the examination hall, it's not possible you stand and speech towards the audience. But how to demonstrate your ability, that's a writing, that's explanation. So here examiner expecting, as compared to FR, in SBR, that you must have to demonstrate that I have an ability to explain the answer, not only the calculation. That is what the mindset you need to develop. So regularly you ask yourself two things. Am I covering only IFRS or another area of the syllabus? Number one. Number two, am I able not just to calculate but writing? If your inner says yes, that's your direction is in the right mode. This is examiner statement. This is not my statement. What the examiner statement about? Explain the accounting principle behind the calculation. This is ACCA. I just take a screenshot of the copy paste. Candidates have to demonstrate large range of skills and abilities, include accounting issues to the relevant concept. That's a point. Third statement of the examiner. In the exam, examiner is expecting that we are not only the maker of the financial statement, but also we have to play a role as investor perspective. For example, you remember IS 40 investment property? There are two possibilities to report investment property: cost model, fair value model. Cost model or fair value model. As an accountant, we have a very good grip how to make accounting of cost approach, how to make accounting of fair value approach. Even we are good enough to explain, just to explain cost model and fair value model. But here examiner says that if an accountant deciding the approach cost or fair value, so at the point of decision, either the cost model or fair value model, what will be the impact of these two models, these two different models, if accountant apply with respect to the user of the financial statement decision? If we accountant here apply the fair value model, what will be the impact to the user of the financial statement, means investor decision making? If the cost model, what will be the impact? Just for a moment, think with respect to the investor. If a company apply cost model with the straight line depreciation and the another company apply fair value model is good model. The prices are up to, the reporting is according to the fair value. Sometimes fair value increase, sometimes decrease. Historical cost approach, depreciation based. How user evaluate the situation or consider the situation? The company who apply the cost model, the financial statement reporting are consistent, regular basis, consistent depreciation, regular basis, the value of assets, the carrying value of assets, book value reduces in a constant manner. But the fair value model, it's updated, market, but it's not constant. Sometimes value up, sometimes value down. Sometimes fair value adjustment in the P&L having a credit impact, lower credit, something higher credit, something debited. That's a bumpy situation. That's uncertain. So user perspective have different view as compared to accountant. This is one example. There are multiple examples. If as a maker of the financial statement, we report any transaction in the financial statement and having the company policy matter and different more issues, what's the impact on the investor? What's the impact on the investor? This is the third statement. First statement, during revision, balance approach, all syllabus coverage. Number 2, ability to explain answer. Number 3, performance measurement. Some of the part of the question, it's not your answer, not according to the maker of the financial statement, but investor perspective.